I'm telling this as an observer. I never spoke to him. I just passed by, watched, and took notes. If Bruce Lee were alive today, the world wouldn't notice him because he was loud. It would notice him because he was quiet. Early morning, the city is still asleep. In a park, one man is running. No headphones, no camera. No one filming him. His footsteps are steady, controlled. He doesn't look at a phone. Notifications are off. He's not racing against time. He's using it. If I didn't know who he was, I'd think he was just another athlete. But there's something precise in the way he moves. Nothing is wasted. After the run, he sits on a bench. He regulates his breathing and watches people pass by. He sees who walks in a rush, who carries anger, who moves with slumped shoulders. He looks less like a fighter and more like a philosopher. He reads body language. He understands that in today's world, the greatest opponent isn't a fist. It's distraction. His name trends online, but he has no social media. Thousands of accounts speak in his name, yet he controls none of them. Interview offers flood in podcasts, YouTube channels, Netflix documentaries. He declines most of them. I once heard him say, "If I speak to everyone, I can't hear myself." Maybe it's just a rumor, but it fits. He enters a modern gym. Mirrors everywhere. Everyone is watching themselves. He doesn't look at the mirrors. He works with a young MMA fighter. No rules are discussed. No weights are used. The strikes are fast, but not brutal. He's still teaching the same thing. Remove what is unnecessary. He updates his methods, but not his philosophy. To him, MMA is a sport. Jeet Kune Do is still a question mark. He keeps asking, why do you move like that? That's why some call him radical. Others call him dangerous, because he dismantles systems. In the afternoon, I see him speaking at a university. He talks less about fighting and more about the mind. He tells the students, everyone today wants to look strong. Very few want to be flexible. The room goes silent because he isn't talking about combat. He's talking about life. I write this down. If Bruce Lee were alive today, he wouldn't be a trend. He would disturb trends. He wouldn't chase short videos, but his short sentences would leave long effects. He wouldn't join movements. Movements would form around him. At night, he sits alone with a cup of tea, reading philosophy, neuroscience, Eastern thought. The light is dim. His phone is still silent. The world talks about him, but he has turned the world as a volume down. And I realize this. If Bruce Lee were alive today, wouldn't he be remembered only as a martial arts legend, but as proof that self-mastery is still possible? Not an icon, a reminder. You can still flow. You can still change. I only observed. He simply continued on his path. I continued to observe. Days passed. Then weeks. Bruce Lee didn't slow down, but he didn't rush either. He moved with intention, as if every action had already been weighed and stripped of excess. One evening, I saw him walking through a crowded street. Neon lights, giant screens shouting advertisements, people scrolling, heads down, fingers moving faster than their thoughts. He stopped for a moment, watching, not judging, understanding. I could almost hear his thoughts. So much information, so little awareness. A group of teenagers recognized him, not with screams, not with hysteria, just wide eyes. One of them asked, "Master Lee, what's the best fighting style today?" He smiled, not a big smile, a small, honest one. "The one that fits you," he said. "10 added, and tomorrow, be ready to let it go." They didn't fully understand, but something in their posture changed. Shoulders back, eyes up, as if a door had opened, even if they couldn't yet see what was behind it. Later, I noticed something else. He had begun working quietly with people outside the spotlight. A stressed entrepreneur, a burned-out athlete, a young woman paralyzed by fear of failure. No uniforms, no titles, just conversations, movement, breathing. He wasn't building fighters. He was on building cages. Someone once challenged him publicly online, calling him outdated. Modern science has replaced philosophy. T-Post sighed. Bruce Lee never replied. But a few days later, I attended a closed seminar where he spoke about habit loops and emotional control, without slides, without jargon, just clarity. The science was modern. The wisdom was timeless. I realized something important. If Bruce Lee lived today, he wouldn't fight influencers. He would outgrow them. Streaming platforms wanted a series. Teach people how to fight in 30 days. He refused. Speed creates imitation, he said. Time creates understanding. Instead, he released a short manifesto online. No marketing, no thumbnails, no hype. Just words. It spread faster than any algorithm could explain. At dawn, I saw him again in the park. Same route, same silence. But this time, someone was running behind him. Then, another, not copying his stride, just sharing the space. He didn't look back. He didn't need to. And that's when it became clear to me. Bruce Lee in today's world wouldn't lead an army. He would change directions and let others decide whether to follow. I stopped taking notes after that. Some things aren't meant to be documented. They're meant to be practiced. Thanks for watching. If this idea resonated with you, consider subscribing. See you in the next one.